Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Brad and welcome back to the channel. Today is Remember the 5th of November. If you get that movie reference, then we can be friends. But it's November 5th and today is officially the kickoff for the Read What You Own challenge, which I have participated in before. I can't remember if it was last year or year before last. But anyway, the gist of it is you read books that you already own on your shelves before you go out and buy more books, which I'm really bad at, going out and buying books, sitting them on the shelves, letting them collect dust, sitting there unread and all sad and unhappy. So I'm going to be joining in and participating in the Read What You Own challenge once again. There's different like tier levels and stuff like that. So I'm going to link Crystal's video, who I watched. She explains all the tiers and everything like that. You can watch her video down in the description and get more detail about what the challenge entails and everything like that. But for me, I'm doing the lower tier because I'm a slow reader, bronze tier, which is reading 25 books. There's really no time frame for it. You can do whatever you would like to do. But the rules are, again, you have to read X amount of books before you go out and buy any new books. So for me, my own personal rules is I can only read physical books. So ebooks, audiobooks for me are not going to count because I have a lot of unread physical books. And I haven't read an ebook all year long, and I honestly don't miss it whatsoever. I much prefer reading physical books. So for me, physical books only, and then I'm not going to check out any books from the library or anything like that. And for me, I'm setting a hard rule, not buying any books, no exceptions or anything like that. If I don't already have it, I'm not going to be able to get any new books until I finish the 25 books that is set as my goal. So I've picked out, I think I've got 10 books here that I would like to read as part of this challenge. That might happen, that might not, we'll see. I'm very much a mood reader these days. I'm horrible at making a TBR, keeping to it. I kind of feel stifled, boxed in by that. I like the freedom to finish a book and then browse and pick up whatever book I like off the shelf instead of, I'll have to stick to this list because this is what I said in a video or whatever. So I've got 10 books here that I would like to read as part of this challenge. We'll see if that happens or not. And then the other 15, again, read them, pick out whatever I like at the time, whatever mood I'm feeling like. So we'll go through these 10 really quick. I won't explain them too much. Some of them I don't know anything about anyway. Just going to go into them completely blind. Some of them I do know a little bit about. But first up, this is Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. I have a bunch of her books, like 8 or 9 of her books. I was going to say 6 or 7, like the kids do these days, but that's really obnoxious. Interview with a Vampire. I've never read anything by her. I love vampire books. I feel like this is probably her most popular one, so I think this would be a great place to start. So yeah, I'm going to try to read Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. If I like that, like I said, I've got a few of her books that I can go into next if I enjoy her writing style. These next 3 books, this year I've started to dip my toes into nonfiction a little bit. I've read a memoir. I read The Wager by David Grann. The memoir was Educated by Tara Westover. I really enjoyed both those books, so I want to start reading some more nonfiction. I don't know, my nonfiction section over here, just as one shelf, is really tiny. I don't have many nonfiction books, but we're gonna try to remedy that after this challenge is complete, because I can't buy any books until then. But these next 3 books are all nonfiction books that I would like to read. The first one is The Radium Girls, The Dark Story of America's Shining Women. This is by Kate Moore. This is set in the years, I think, after World War I, right before or right after. But we are in these radium dial factories where I believe the women are painting like watch faces and stuff with this radium dust, and it's making them really sick. They're getting cancer and everything like that. And I think the gist of it is like the owners of the factories and stuff are kind of not believing them. They're saying it's not caused by this radium dust, and it's that back and forth kind of fight to, fight for their rights and, better working conditions and everything like that. It sounds really interesting. So this is The Radium Girls by Kate Moore. Another nonfiction is The Infernal Machine, a true story of dynamite, terror, and the rise of the modern detective. This one is by Stephen Johnson. I believe this is set in New York City. Yeah, April 1914. New York City Police Department. Apparently, from what I know, that the police department was really good at kind of stopping crimes, preventing them, I think kind of through fear. We'll beat you up if you do something, throwing you in jail. But once a crime was committed, they were terrible at actually solving crimes. So it's about that. And I think there's this reign of people were going around blowing things up with dynamite, all that thrown into one story. It sounds really cool, really interesting. Period of time that I don't really know much about. I'd like to learn more. So this one sounds really cool. This is The Infernal Machine by Stephen Johnson. And then the final nonfiction, really popular author and a popular book. This is The Demon of Unrest, a saga of hubris, heartbreak, and heroism at the dawn of the Civil War. This is by Eric Larson. He's probably one of the more popular nonfiction writers. He's, again, another author I have not read, but a lot of his stuff sounds really interesting, like The Devil in the White City, is In the Garden of Beasts. He's got a bunch of stuff in World War II and things like that. This one sounds cool, though. This is, like it said, I think it's Fort Sumter we're at. Does it say in here really quick before I spend too much time? Yeah, Fort Sumter. So we're at Fort Sumter right at the beginning of the Civil War. And I believe that Eric Larson's writing, even though it's nonfiction, it feels like you're reading fiction. It's kind of the way he writes it, in more of a plot-driven narration kind of storytelling, even though it's nonfiction. So this one sounds really cool. Again, The Demon of Unrest by Eric Larson, another author I've been wanting to get to for quite some time. So those are the 3 nonfiction books I would like to try to tackle. Honestly, I'd like to try to tackle more, but those 3 specifically I'd like to get to. Next up is Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. Is that right? Yeah, Mariana Enriquez. I don't know too much about this one. I believe it's like this big kind of family saga. Kind of reminds me of something like The Elementals by Michael McDowell, I think. Really dealing with family drama. And it says, a woman's mysterious death puts her husband and son on a collision course with her demonic family, in this first novel by Mariana Enriquez. So I guess there's maybe some demonic possession and stuff in here, but family drama, family saga mixed with like demonic possession stuff. Sounds really fun. Looking forward to this one. That is Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. This is a big chunker of a book. It is, it's barely 600 pages. It looks like it's more than that, but it's about 600 pages. I don't know, that looks like about 700 or so to me. A big, thick book. Hopefully that one is good. This next one, I don't know anything about. This is The Bullet Swallower by Elizabeth Gonzalez James. I don't know anything about this one. Looks like a Western. It's set in 1895 in San Antonio. Based on the title and the cover, which the cover is really awesome. I like the sunset and everything. Sounds like a cool Western. I read Lonesome Dove earlier this year. Want to get into more Westerns. So hopefully this one scratches that itch. It just sounds really cool. I love the title. The cover's awesome. This is The Bullet Swallower by Elizabeth Gonzalez James. I hope that one's really good because I'm really looking forward to that one. Next up is Above the Waterfall by Ron Rash. Again, broken record. Another author I have quite a few books of that I haven't read anything from that I would like to read. Ron Rash is kind of the mentor to David Joy, which is an author I really, really enjoy his works. It's set in, I believe all his stuff is also set in North Carolina, in the Appalachian region, dealing with the issues and things that haunt Appalachia, the opioid, I can never say that word, the drug epidemic, the opioid epidemic, poverty, all that kind of stuff. So this one sounds fun. This is another one. I don't know really what it's about. But if his writing is anything like David Joy's, his storytelling, I'm sure I'm going to love this one. This is Above the Waterfall by Ron Rash. Got a few here left. This one is The Overstory by Richard Powers. This one won a Pulitzer Prize, so it's got to be a good book, right? What I know about this one is it's like this kind of folk tales almost. It's kind of these 8 or 9 interwoven tales, these different families, these different people, and how their lives and families and everything kind of interconnected, woven together, all connected by nature in some way. It's all about trees and nature and stuff like that. Sounds kind of a bit different than what I would normally read, but interesting nonetheless. And like I said, it's won a Pulitzer, so it's got to be good, right? So this one is The Overstory by Richard Powers. I said folklore. I meant like fables, different kind of fables that are interwoven together is what I meant to say. So that's The Overstory. Got two left here. Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Canas. I hope I'm saying her last name correctly. But I love the cover on here. The cover is striking, no pun intended, with the with the lightning strike on here. This is another kind of Western, I guess you could say. It's set in Mexico, I know, in 1840s Mexico. Vampires and vaqueros face off on the Texas-Mexico border in this supernatural Western from the author of The Hacienda. I love vampires. I'm really getting into Westerns, so that combination of the two together sounds right up my alley. So hopefully this one is good. I think this one leans into the romance aspect some, which I'm not a huge fan of romance, but as long as that's not like the main plot line of the book, I'm okay with a little romance on the side. So this one sounds cool. This is Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Canas. And the final book, one I'm really excited for, this is Carl's Doomsday Scenario by Matt Dinniman. This is book 2 in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. I read book 1, I think back in August, had an absolute blast with it. It's not necessarily my favorite book I've read this year, but it's definitely the most entertaining and fun book I've read this year. Really looking forward to continuing on with the series. I think there's 7 books in this series right now, if I'm not mistaken. This is book 2. Definitely want to get to this one. Try to squeeze it in before the end of the year. I'd like to, because I really want to get back into this series. Carl and Princess Donut, just everything involved is just hilarious. It's a blast. It's so much fun. This is Carl's Doomsday Scenario by Matt Dinniman. And those are 10 of the potentially 10 of the 25 books I would like to read for the Read What You Own challenge. Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. Hopefully I can get through it a lot quicker this time around than last time. Last time, it took me quite a while, but I've been having a better reading pace this year, I think because I've been sticking with physical books and haven't read any ebooks. I don't know, ebooks just like kill my reading momentum for whatever reason. Anyway, starting to ramble. But if let me know down in the comments if you are going to be participating in the Read What You Own challenge. If you've read any of these books that I have mentioned and you liked them, hated them, whatever, let me know what you thought about them down in the comments below. But that's all I've got for you guys today. If you are participating in the Read What You Own challenge, good luck. May the odds forever be in your favor. Different movie reference from earlier, but whatever. But appreciate your time. Appreciate you hanging out with me today. Again, my name is Brad. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.